Alrighty guys, so in this video we do have the different pair. We have Australian dollar here. So I kind of want to explain to you guys exactly what I was explaining to you in the other one. You see here, we're going to kind of spread this out here, and you see how it just channels down, and then the second it breaks, it just starts to go the other way. You know, that's very common. It's very, very common. Very common. So a lot of things people are going to ask me is, yo, Daniel, let me get comfortable here. Yo, Daniel, what time frame should I draw my Fibonacci on? I don't know what time frame. You know, you draw it on the 15-minute, you draw it on the 30-minute, you draw on the hour. Which time frame? So, I mean, me personally, I like to draw them, you know, mostly on the 30-minute, you know, because most of my entries are mostly always on the 15-minute and the 30-minute. 80% of my entries are always on the 30-minute and the 15-minute. So, I mean, I like to have all my trend lines in there. So, I mean, depending where my entry is going to be on the trade, I'm going to have that trend line within that entry to kind of help me out. But then again, I don't always trade off of trend lines. I don't always. So those are just things I like to have in there. Because, like, for example, look at this. Let's see if we can get a channel here. Sometimes it'll look clean, sometimes it won't look clean. For example, this is how it's going to look here from the push down. Try to find the body here, because right now this doesn't exist. You know, I don't really like to just use my trend lines all the time and just depend on them, because one, things like this can happen. We can side, boom, broke out, even though we didn't create new higher highs really, because this is still a strong level of resistance, as you guys can see. Rejected, respected, rejected, respected, rejected, before melting down, as you guys can see. As you can spread this back down, we kind of touch back over here. You know, it didn't just go all the way up yet. What it did was came back down again, and then had a side channel, ranged, and then boom, started to go back up. So let's go on the 30-minute, 1 hour time frame. Sorry, let's go on the 1 hour time frame right now. So look at this. On the 30-minute, you didn't see this like that. You didn't see this like that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see it. Look at this. You didn't see it like that. So if you look here on the 1 hour, it starts to look a little bit more cleaner. You know what I'm saying? We side channel, boom, we come back. We start playing with this zone right here, which is the trend line. And as you guys see, we break under, but close right back above. You know, we're kind of rejecting this little form of support over here, as you guys can see. Oh man, let me get that magnet off. So we're kind of still respecting this form of support, and we just kind of melt again. You know what I'm saying? And then we get into the side channel, where right now we don't even have a trend line touching it. So what are we going to do in this situation like this? We're going to go to a price where price is at, and we're going to try to draw a trend line. So in this situation, we're going to go put a magnet back from the push, or the highest part of the push, because we can do it here, but it makes more sense here. From the push here to here, and as you guys can see, 1, 2, 3, came right back up. Now we broke out of this channel. So what are we going to do? You see this level right here? This was previous resistance at one level at one point. And since price is at this level, we'll see that resistance over here is kind of forming support over here. And as you guys can see, we do have continuation. We do have continuation. So let's go to the 4 hour. And notice how these trend lines don't even really matter on the 4 hour, because as you can see, it looks disgusting. It looks ugly. So don't even worry about that, man. I don't want to complicate your trading, guys. I know a lot of people want to, you know, have the bigger time moves where they want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't complicate my trading, and I make good money because of that. I don't complicate it. So I don't want you guys to complicate your trading either. So, Daniel, how do I draw my trend line? Like, how do I know what time frame? You take it based off whatever makes more sense. That's all I can say. So you're always looking, when you're on your chart, you're always looking for some type of market structure breaks in continuation with the overall trend. So if you want to throw a trend line and the trend line is in your favor, amazing. If the trend line is not in your favor, whoa, be careful. But if you don't really have a place to put a trend line, don't worry about it. You don't have to place a trend line in every single trade. You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. So for everybody, asking me, do I need to have a trend line in every single trade that I take? No, because me personally, I'll be super real with you guys. I haven't used a trend line in forever. You know what I'm saying? The only way I'll look at my trend line is if we're doing something like this, or we're on a channel. You know what I mean? We're on a channel going down, and we break above. And then boom, as you guys can see here, this previous level of resistance became a newfound support for our breakout, and then continuation. And then boom, as you can see, like magnets, like I said, broke above here, stops under the wick, target the next one. Look, man, this thing is not rocket science, guys. This is beautiful, man. Look at this Fibonacci entry. Come on, man. We do this, man. Like what I can see for this pair going is I can see this level of resistance being taken now. Another 75 pips. And what is that? Take profit 4? Look at that, about take profit 4 almost. Boom, beautiful. So I can kind of see that happening right there, to be super real with you. Now let's go to the 1 hour. You don't even have you can't even put a trend line in there. You know what I'm saying? You can't even put a trend line. You can't. Let's go to 30 minute. Let's see if we can draw a trend line here. Look at that. It doesn't even look valid. It doesn't even look valid. So guys, don't feel like you need to have a trend line in every single one of your videos, in every single one of your charts. Sorry. You don't need to have a trend line all the time. But you know what? To kind of like help you out sometimes when you're kind of, you know, in a trend, in a channel, and you notice that, they're good to have, because you need to realize, hey, you need to understand that this trend, this channel, it's gonna end one day. It's not gonna go down forever. If that's the case, I'd be a billionaire. You know, it's gonna end one time, one day or the other, but it will end. It will not continue forever. That doesn't exist. It will channel, break above, and you want to be able to understand why it broke above, and then you want to identify, hey, look, it broke above. I don't want to sell anymore because I realized we broke out of the channel, and now on our previous level of resistance, we are using that as our newfound support. And if you have a Fibonacci level in there, amazing. If not, oh well, you still got your support and resistance, and boom, target the previous level and support resistance before that one. You know what I'm saying? Target the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one from our previous. You know what I'm saying? So it's not rocket science. Very, very common when it comes to trading. You will see things like the channel, like Euro NZD, this nice little channel. You know what I'm saying? Just kept going and going and going and going and going. This thing, boom, broke above, came back down. You know, as you guys can see, these things, they like to do that. You know what I'm saying? The chart moves the way it wants to move because of how it's going to move. That made no sense, but it made sense in my head. You know, we can't predict this, but it happens. What we have to focus on is, after predicting this, is this right here. That's what we have to predict. After coming out of this trend, switching up, boom, coming up. That's what we're here for. That's what we are here for. Let's reset this chart. So now that I'm looking here, we have this little side channel. This is GBP USD. This is just ranging. You know what I'm saying? This is just ranging. So now that we broke under this little side channel and we are creating new lower lows, look at this. Let's draw a Fibonacci retracement here and here. So now after that, let's just draw a trend line. Actually, let's delete this. I'll draw it after. So let's draw a trend line from here to, let's say, right here. Boom. Perfect. Now let's draw our Fibonacci short. As you guys can see here, this is the golden zone. So what happened in the golden zone? Boom. Price decided to come in the golden zone and create this trend line. Respect it, respect it, respect it. Break above, come back down. Hit take profit 1, come back here, close above. So this right now could tell you, hey, look, we could go up now because we just broke above and retested it. But then again, that's why we have our golden zone, and this is about resistance. and we just kept melting. So this right here could have confused you guys. So when you see something like this, I would start to worry when you see this form a resistance and then this break above. So as long as you have a resistance here and it breaks above, you better be prepared 764 holds, because I'll be real with you, you're gonna lose, you know. And then boom, we came back down, and what do we have here? We have new lower lows being created. So now this is where it gets kind of interesting. We have new lower lows being created. Now let's draw our Fibonacci from here to here. Now our 618 is kind of the same thing. So look at this. If we would have sold here, we would have lost. Why? Because the price decided to flip and turn bullish. So as you guys can see here, this setup had a form of support right here. And now it kind of became a little found resistance. And as you guys can see, we have this trend line still here, which was broken above. Price did come back up, broke above our support, making this a found resistance. And now you're breaking above and retesting your trend line. And now this trade isn't a short anymore. Boom, it starts to go up. But either way, if we go on the 4 hour, because that's the 1 hour, if we go on the 4 hour, we're on a 4 hour long anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, we started going a 4 hour long anyways. Sorry. We started to create a long. Wait, I got confused there for a second, guys. I'm sorry. No. Okay, no. I got confused really quick. But as you can see, the channel did come to an end, and boom, we started the channel up. Boom, boom. Now we keep going up. Blacked out there for a second, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Boom, clean, perfect, easy, easy, easy. Let's see if we can find more examples. Okay, this is another nice little example here. As you guys can see here, magnet, boom. You see here? Okie dokie. In this situation, look at this. We had boom, new lower lows, respecting. Now we created this. Came back over here, came back under, came over here, and then we broke above. So keep in mind, guys, when it comes to the trend lines, I just recommend you guys only use them when you're channeling down, going down or going up. So I only recommend them when you're going through stuff like this, and then to find out if we're going to keep going down or going up now. So in my opinion, guys, when it comes to the trend lines, guys, just use them only to find out, hey, where's price going? Are we going to keep, retesting? Are we going to keep, rejecting? Like, what are we going to do? Are we going to switch it up? Because like I said, guys, this won't always happen. This comes to an end because it won't go forever. It won't. It's going to come to an end eventually and switch over. So pay attention to that, guys. Let's keep going. Look at this. It keeps going. Boom. Now this was real nice. Look at this channel right here. This is where you're going to get confused. Oops. I'm going to just draw it from here to here. We never even had a touch. But as you guys can see, we do have a little channel here. Okie dokie. Overall, damn, this thing is overall bearish, bearish, bearish for days. 30-minute here. Just go to the 1 hour better. Starting to look choppy and not make sense to me. Yeah, this is actually crazy. Look at this thing. This thing was on a downtrend since March. Oh my God. 9th. Insane. So as you guys can see here, price decided to, let me get this magnet off. Sorry about that, guys. See how price starts to come back down here? Boom. Goes down, breaks above. Perfect. Starts to come up. See how we're identifying that? Look how we're identifying that. We went from a down channel to a side channel to an up channel. Clean. Same thing happened up here, but we kept melting. So now let's kind of use this as an example. I know the charts are a little spread out in candles, you can't really notice them, but these are just examples, guys. What we're using our trend lines for. In this situation, we were uptrend, 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 broke under, came back, retested, came back down, melted. So that was really lovely. Okay, keep going here. As you guys see, downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. Ooh, this thing was just a beautiful downtrend. As you guys can see here, downtrend. Put that here. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Boom, broke out, created an uptrend. So, like I said, guys, very normal. Down channel, side channel, rips. So you'll notice that a lot. That's how the markets move. Down channel, as you guys can see, side channel, rips. So keep that in mind, guys. When it comes to your trend lines, always realize that, hey, we need to kind of realize on the higher time frames, are we going to break out? Or are we going to continue the trend? So that is what we have our trend lines for. And basically a little bit of confirmations, a little bit of confluences. And, you know, like I said, man, they're just there to help us out. We don't want to just depend on them always by themselves. We use them in confluence with our other tools, as for example, the Fibonacci, and then supply and demand is next. Support and resistance. Oops. So anyways, guys, thanks you guys for watching this video. I'll see you.